live today. Here, coming right at you, Tabletop Junkies, bringing you another tabletop review using the Fate Horror Toolkit. Now, I've got a couple. And we got a couple guests in the house today. And I gotta set this up because I don't want nothing obstructing this view here. We've got a couple guests here today, or at least one so far. And I'm gonna bring them on, and you know him as the Witch King, and here he is, the Witch King.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be back finally.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks. That's all I can say on that one. So, and we are waiting on one more. You know him as the great and wonderful Tobey. Not sure how great and wonderful he is, but I mean, he does show up to all my streams, so he is great and wonderful. But oh boy, it's been a crazy week already. It's only Tuesday. It's already been a crazy week for me. So
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Oh, I didn't say it was gonna be I didn't say it was a bad crazy week.
Well, that's true.
Crazy can mean a couple things. It's a bit tired. Like today, I'm a bit under the weather a little bit. So if you guys hear me, cough or something, I do apologize. I woke up sick today. And yes, I'm doing a stream. It's not that kind of sickness. We just we're in like spring and summertime where I live at. We're like in the spring, reaching into the summer. And we got snow last night. We actually got 6 inches of snow. Yeah. So when you live in a climate that's cold, like mine, and you're transitioning to warmer weather, and then one day you got this warm weather, and you're sweating balls outside of your jacket, and you're trying to take your jacket off. Then you got a hoodie underneath or something like that, like me. Okay. Yep. Tobey is having some technical difficulties, but he will be on as soon as possible. When you're kind of going through that on a regular basis because the weather is transitioning, and then all of a sudden it bottoms out to the point you get 6 inches of snow.
Yeah.
It makes you sick. I mean, it's what happens. I woke up this morning with a sore throat. And so I slept most of the day, but I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this because it's been a crazy week.
Fair enough.
So, for those who probably didn't get to see it, and for those who did get to see it, I have a cool new intro. And it was designed for me by a really good streamer called Jace. His name is Jace. He does his channel is the 540 Studios, and I am going to send a special thank you to him because he made that for me today. And he, said, hey, you can use this in your streams if you want. He's just trying to help me out. And you know what, Jace, if you're listening or if you see this, thank you very, very much. I love that guy. He loves what I do, and he's trying to support what I do. So I got to give Jace at 540 Studios a nice special thank you. So I made this little special banner for him in my stream. I also invited him to the stream, but he's Norwegian, so the time zones are a little crazy. Like right now, it's 2:00 my time. He's probably getting ready to go to bed. It's like nighttime on his side or something like that. All right, so I think we got our great wonderful Tobey in. So let's see if he comes in. Yep, there he is.
Hey, y'all. Can y'all everybody hear me?
Yeah,
we can all hear you. Good.
Perfect.
Good. Yep, all you'd missed so far is just the intro that I just got today. I got a nice new countdown intro with some nice music that was made for me by Jace at 540 Studios, and I was just thanking him.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll probably have to show that to you guys after the stream. And then I finally got this stupid thing to work where we get a nice cool where people can look at the cover of what we're at least talking about today. So yay.
Awesome.
Yeah, a couple other things I just wanted. I mean, we touched on most of the stuff yesterday. There were some changes, but we're not trying to go too deep into the changes that they made for Fate to make it based on the horror genre in the toolkit. Because they're trying to, I'm trying to, say, hey, instead of spoiling the whole book for you guys, get the book. It's worth it. It is worth it. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start off today with conditions. They're much like the same thing in the Fate System Toolkit. They're just predefined. You can come up with your own. They do have some tips and tricks. It is on one single page. Read it. There you go.
Let me pull up that PDF real quick.
Yeah. If you guys got
And
something,
I did watch most of, if not all of the video you did yesterday.
we actually got into some pop culture after 40
Yeah,
minutes.
that's what I remember. You kept talking about different slasher villains.
Yes. You know, and I just saw the trailer for Scream 5 last night, and I'm like, oh, boy.
I don't think they'll be able to do it solely because Wes Craven is no longer alive.
Right. Well, it looks actually pretty good. I just feel bad for the character Sidney Prescott. I feel like that woman has just gone through. They put that character through hell. Left
Well,
and right.
think about pretty much every Scream Queen character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Laurie Strode, the character in I forget her name because I never saw it in Night on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well,
She's
no,
gone through
Nightmare on
so
Elm
much.
Street, minus the first movie and the third movie, they only put one character through hell on that one. I'm talking, they have 5 movies that's all about Sidney Prescott. That's what the first Scream is about Sidney Prescott, and it was her boyfriend because her mom kind of chased away her dad or something like that, or chased away chased away her current boyfriend's mother, and they got divorced, and he had a broken childhood, so he was so mad at her, he got a friend involved to try and make her life a living hell when the time came about it. But you know, his first thing was to get into her pants. It's like, you've got to be kidding me with that one. And then the second one, the mother of the son came back and then started doing the shit all over again. And then they got the guy from, I think the guy who plays in there is the guy who plays Hitman, Agent 47 from the first Hitman movie. He also plays in Santa Clarita Diet, if you know who I'm talking about. I cannot remember his name. Oliphant.
Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah. He's a good actor. I like him.
I really like him too.
And then Scream 3 was, turns out she had a stepbrother. And I'm like, what the fuck? This family just doesn't know how to keep it in the pants, man. You know, she's got a stepbrother who is actually a famous director. Lured her to Hollywood. So yeah, check out those movies. They are worth it. And then the fourth one was her cousin was jealous of her, so she reenacted all of that. And it's like, wow, okay, that one I did not like.
You forgot last night or yesterday. You forgot one of the horror movies you like and you've seen.
Which one?
Wasn't it the ones that where there was the djinn?
Oh, the Wishmaster. Oh my god, I cannot believe I forgot about that one. Well, we also named off a lot of pop culture references yesterday.
Yeah,
I mean, we got like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. We got Scream. We even got Halloween. I've never really seen Halloween. We got Child's Play. We had freaking The Ring, even though I've never seen The Ring either. I think The Ring, are those older movies too, by chance? Wonder why I never
The
saw
Ring came out in 2000, but I think, or 2001 or 2000, and the original one came out like a year or so before it in Japan.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. We got The Ring, 2002, and then The Ring and The Ring 2 in 2005.
But the original one was named Ringu, and it came out in Japan in
and then we got
1998.
Ring. Yep, and then we got Rings in 2017,
which I don't think anyone really liked.
I didn't even know there was 3 movies. I knew there was like 1 or 2.
Oh, and it's based on a novel.
Actually, I think I saw.
It's a Japanese novel.
Yeah, I think I saw The Rings. I think I saw Rings because I think I rented that one day. Yeah, we named a lot of them yesterday. And then there was one called Ring in 1998. Is that the same thing?
That was
That's the Japanese one.
Yeah,
that was the Japanese version.
Which was based on a 1991 novel.
Nice. Very nice. All right, cool. Yeah, we're just naming off a lot of pop culture references. All right. So to get to touch base on the next key element I want to talk about is, since we're talking about slasher movies and stuff like that, the Fate Horror Toolkit actually worked with changing stress and consequences a bit and implementing them. And they came up with like 4 different ways to implement a true horror. I'm going to take away this little thing and put it up a little bit later. They actually did implement 4 different things that you could use. You don't have to use them all, but you could use to give your characters, to give your PCs a good fright. The 4 topics that they addressed in the horror toolkit is what they call the high cost of living, the doom clock, mutilation, and then the book of scars. The book of scars, I definitely want to talk about that one here in a minute. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that one, but I don't want to spend too much time on the other ones because they're kind of simple. Like, for instance, the high cost of living, all they did was tell you that you could technically take away 1 stress box, and instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4 for a fate core, you just have like fate accelerated 1, 2, 3. Basically reduce the value of the stress boxes to kind of create the fright. And then the consequences, you could have 1, 3, 5 instead of like 2, 4, 6 for mild, moderate, and severe. You could just have 1, 3, 5 or 1, 2, 3. Basically making it kind of more worth being careful on taking hits. Basically giving the characters a little bit more of, I don't think I'm going to do this. So the other ways they also have is reducing the fate point pool. Reduce fate point pool. Basically, I make it, make fate points very scarce. Also reduce skill value, and also all resources are consumable. No matter if it isn't consumable, it's consumable. It goes away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Making starvation actually be a thing. Or running.
So you could use that for a post-apocalyptic game, couldn't you?
Actually, generally for that one, I would use that one for that one. Not a slasher type thing. A slasher type thing, I don't even think I would use the high cost of living unless I just make fate points hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
But as a GM, that's my own personal opinion. For other GMs,
I think making it harder to survive in a post-apocalyptic or post-collapse type setting would work really well.
Yes, the high cost of living does work better, I feel, with post-apocalypse, with the post-apocalyptic, where resources are hard to come by.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you could easily do that with Fate Horror.
Oh yeah, that's what they explain in this book is how to do that too.
Like kind of like the apocalypse that Buffy was supposed to stop.
Oh yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
With Glory.
I'm actually thinking real hard about buying Monsters of the Week because it was based on supernatural and stuff like that.
I don't know about that, man, because Apocalypse World really limits the options of characters and GMs.
Is Monsters of the Week Apocalypse? I thought it was Evil Hat Productions. I thought it was Fate Core.
Nope.
Really? Never mind. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I mean, judge for yourself if you want. That's just my opinion.
Well, I'll judge for myself regardless. It's just the point is I'm not going to, if it's Apocalypse World and not Fate Core, I thought it was Fate Core because it was made with, I believe, from Evil Hat Productions. It's on their site. I thought it was Fate Core.
No, Evil Hat has quite a few Apocalypse World games or Forged in the Dark games, which are made back on Apocalypse World.
No, if we're gonna do something like that, I'd rather use Fate at the moment, especially if that's what we're kind of talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that they talk about is implementing the Doom Clock. A Doom Clock is basically something that has its own stress. It's its own entity. And it's basically counting down to the end of the PC's fate. And they actually tell you about how you can stop the Doom Clock. It gives you tips and tricks about how you can lead the PCs onto you figuring out how to stop the Doom Clock and all that stuff, and what causes it to count down. Basically, beginning to stop the Doom Clock from counting down to the end of the game to where everyone dies. You basically just got to figure out what makes it tick. That is the basic rule there. That is a couple pages worth of reading. It is worth checking out. I don't really care to use the Doom Clock too much, so that's not something I would use in a slasher flick. which is what we've been mainly talking about. Apocalypse or post-apocalypse, yeah, we should talk more about those this time around because we did give slashers kind of like the hell of a we did give slashers a hell of a talk yesterday, so we should talk maybe more about that later on. Anyway, mutilation. Okay, I just want to point out. I know everyone's kind of like when you talk about mutilation. I don't like the word personally. I think it's a grotesque word, but it is something that they did call it. It's basically an element of scary movies, but it's basically an injury that is a permanent. So, like, say you got hurt and you got the side of your face or near your eye gouged out, and basically even after you heal from this, the consequence, you have lost permanent your eye or your leg.
Yeah.
So,
I remember, I think I was playing a zombie apocalypse game with my dad a long time ago. And when I was younger, I just did not like the idea of like, oh, and you lost a finger or that kind of stuff.
yeah, I mean, I guess like I don't mind doing it for scary movies like slasher flicks and stuff like that because that's the whole point of a slasher flick. I just don't want to emphasize on the mutilation.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my I don't want to know how sick a person's mind can get, but I mean, you gotta we all have to remember, and I think we all forget this at times. In order to have these flicks, someone had to write it, so somebody was that demented to write stuff like that.
I don't think they were demented. I think they were just writing a horror movie.
Well, okay, yeah, and I think people can just get too swapped up into like, wow, who could have thought of that? Well, someone did, and it doesn't matter. They're just it's for your entertainment. Why are you watching it if you're not entertained?
And there are people who watch it and are entertained.
Exactly. Hey, Toby, you've been quiet over there, man. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. I'm just listening to you guys talk. My voice is a little hoarse.
Yeah. Straight. Yeah, I've seen the Weather Channel. I hear you guys got cold weather. Is that true?
It's really windy, so allergies are bad.
Okay. Yeah. I hope you guys get better. Yeah, we got snow, like 6 inches.
We have a wind advisory of 60-mile-per-hour winds.
I had that on Friday and Saturday. It was crap. No, Thursday and Friday. It was crap.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like 71 degrees here.
Witch King, what am I going to do with you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you live in the warmer climate, so that's your... I could live in a warmer climate if I wanted to.
You certainly could. And you did at one point, but I won't go into that.
No, let's not. Moving on to happier thoughts. All right, so my favorite thing about this horror toolkit is the Book of Scars. And just all I wanted to say about it is it's an additional subsystem. I count it as a subsystem. It doesn't it counts as an extra system. When a PC recovers from a mild, moderate, or severe or extreme aspect, even like say not like a mutilation aspect where I hurt my leg or cut my tendon in my legs, but we got it sewn back up and stuff like that. But you're still suffering from the effects a little bit. Like you can't run as good because the tendon was cut. And like I know for a fact, if you cut a tendon in your hand or anywhere on your body the right way, you will not gain the same mobility back. Basically, that is what the Book of Scars is when you heal from one of those consequences, you still put a scar in the Book of Scars that does count against you for invoke or compels moving forward, making the character live like, this takes away basically I'm a super powerful character. Yay.
Yeah, like 5th edition D&D.
Oh God! Don't even start with that. I aside from you and Toby, I feel like I've lost players for that. I have other people who wanted to play, but they're all going to OSC right now. They're all trying to get me into old school essentials. So
I have a lot of old school games, and I do want you to get into that as well.
All right. I'm an open-minded person. I will be open-minded.
That's good to hear.
All right. So the next thing that I want to touch base with is the bronze rule. This is something that the Fate Horror Toolkit has implemented, but it's basically all it is a way to keep the game moving and keep it a safe and enjoyable environment for everybody. Because when it comes to horror, not every like you could be in horror movies, but not everyone's going to be in every single horror movie. Like for instance, I like slasher flicks, but I don't like Hostel. I think that's a little too gross and gory for me. So a couple of the elements they did talk about to keep the game moving, to keep people on their toes, and to keep it from getting stale. They've added in a topic called the Other, attacks on havens. Attacks on havens. We'll talk about the Other in a minute. I want to talk because that one is going to be its own. That's a whole new thing now.
You guys might have your havens attacked in vampire.
Yes. Attacks on havens is a good way to keep it going. Like, say you finally made it a safe haven, but now the killer knows where you're at and it's busting in the safe haven.
Or you have just holed up in a grocery store in a zombie apocalypse or whatever, and now the monsters are trying to get in and you need to escape.
I don't really use safe
That
havens.
sounds very familiar.
I don't really use safe havens too much in zombie apocalypse. Like you have a haven, but it's always going to get attacked.
I mean, not necessarily.
That sounds familiar.
Toby, you're so funny.
I don't
You know what else sounds familiar?
What?
Rogue body parts is another good element that they have you implement.
Like from Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead, man. You know, I love on how we can just sit here and go through these topics and compare them to movies. I believe they're movies and books that they have all kinds of media they've read. You know, they probably read just to implement into this. They did a good job on that one. And then on top of rogue body parts, physical transformation. Toby, go ahead and say it, man. Physical transformation. You got something for this one. Physical transformation. Do you know what it is?
No, I'm blanking. I'm sorry.
Well, how about a zombie infection?
I'm infected. Ah!
Physical transformation. That counts. Or, you turn into the monster.
Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me.
Horror type stuff. Like
one of the PCs is the villain. What?
Or he becomes the villain.
Oh, yes. Terrible. So the other, you know why they call it the other? I'll tell you why. Because it's the enemy. It's the person that forces the characters to change their nature and shapes of the story by what they are facing, creates obstacles for the PCs to overcome, and then changes the obstacles for PCs to overcome. And the other is basically, at times, the monster itself. However, it is a completely separate character that follows the rules of the PCs. So whatever happens to the PCs happens to the other.
Yay.
We made it to a milestone. Every PC gets a power boost. Guess what? So does the other.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. A campaign where we're constantly on the run from one single monster.
Sure. I got a campaign.
Also sounds familiar.
Yeah. I got a campaign where we're going to go up against 7 single monsters. Are you kidding me? Oh, boy. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. What did we do? We had Jason, Freddy, Chucky, Ghostface from Scream, Girl in the Well.
We had a lot.
Yeah, I only added 5. I know we had like 7. I can't.
You forgot the Wolfman, Dracula, the Xenomorphs.
I named off Dracula and Wolfman and Frankenstein.
What about
Leatherface and Michael Myers?
What about Pinhead and the?
Those are gonna be a separate team up.
Okay.
Here's our current adventure. There you go. We are gonna do something with these 7, and I'm gonna need 7 players somehow. 7 players. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I never like it when you say it that way.
It's never good when I say it that way because it's fun for me.
Exactly.
Because I don't mind my characters dying usually.
There was actually a movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Watch it. It's called Fright Night.
The
19
original or the newer one?
No. Give me a minute. Let me look it up.
Because the original one came out in like 85 or so.
Yes, no, I'm not talking about that one. There's another one. Oh Lord. Okay. Who's the girl in Stranger? Let me look up the girl in Stranger Things. The redhead. I can't remember her name. Sadie Sink. There you go. All right. Sadie Sink plays in this one. She plays in the second movie. Fear Street. I'm sorry, Fear Street. There's Fear Street, 1994, 1978, and then there is Fear Street, 1666. Fear Street is actually a pretty good movie. I recommend watching it. So without further ado, we're just not going to really go into that too much. The first Fear Street is called Fear Street in 1994. And then it goes to 1994 to 1978, and then all the way back down to 1666, and then it ends. At some point it ends. Basically it's a movie about a witch who brings all the supernatural horrors to life. It is worth checking out.
It's also by R.L. Stein.
Yes, R.L. Stein did write that one, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, I did totally forget about that. So, okay. So, one of the other things that, I'm just going to say on is, Tobey.
Yes.
Remember one time you talked about a failure with style or a click to fail? Guess what? In the Horror Toolkit, they finally added a failure with style for horror games.
That also sounds familiar.
Wait, did I ever do a failure with style with you guys?
I don't think so.
From one when we did the zombie game.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that was a joke. No, man, I might have done that because I did read this book by then. No, wait, no. I didn't have this book by then. This book was actually fairly new.
I just know that I got the aspect uncomfortable out of my element because I failed so many times at using a pistol.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing about zombie games. You guys were never facing off with an opposition that was active. It was all passive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to say a couple words here, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. Manipulating obstacles and zones.
Causing havoc on the world that we play in via traps or stuff like that.
All right, Toby, what's your idea about that?
You heard me say fear.
Fear. Okay. Basically, what this is about the GM is actively changing obstacles and or the zone while actively in the scene. Examples of what we're talking about are the poltergeist, when the woman is trying to get to the bedroom to save her daughter and her son, and the hallway keeps getting longer and longer and longer. I think another version of this would be It, and then Nightmare on Elm Street. And I did forget about this one. I have to put it in there because it does count. Let's see, you said It, Nightmare on Elm Street, Poltergeist, and this last one, Rose Red.
Oh.
Yeah. Basically, they all exhibit where the aspect of, you're running all the way down to the hallway. You're trying to get to the door. You finally get to the door. You're still in the hallway. And now you're at the door at the other end of the hall, and then you got to run all the way back down, and then you pop out to the door of the left. That would be changing something. In the Matrix, we call that deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But Toby wouldn't know anything about that.
Okay.
All right. And just the last two elements I do want to talk about, which we're not gonna spend a lot of time on, because I want us to start naming off some good stuff too. and start having a conversation about horror, because I think the horror genre deserves, on top of the review that we're doing here for the toolkit and the greatness that they have put into this, I think we should name off some pop culture stuff here too, more than what we're doing now. So theme stunts, basically, they do talk about how to modify your stunt or stunts to make them react differently, and they're better fit for the horror genre theme, where they may not help you defeat an opposition, but help you enough to get away from the opposition. Which is what we talked about yesterday, was concession. I actually, Toby, I did figure out what concession was. It was basically you try to hurt the enemy, hurt the bad guy, or you do hurt the bad guy and then run away.
That sounds like something I would do.
Oh, yeah. And then milestones. They did modify the milestones for the horror. And they let you know what the changes were made and what they took out and what they added in. But basically, they also added in the other gets this, like I mentioned previously, the other gets the same abilities as PC and is counted as a PC instead of an NPC. And that is the Fate Horror Toolkit, guys. As I stated yesterday before, I think I picked up my physical copy for $15. Do not quote me on that, because unfortunately I looked online yesterday, I think during the other stream, and I found out you couldn't even get it. Not the physical copy. You can get the PDF is on Evil Hat Productions and Drivethru RPG right now for $10. And then they do have how you can buy it in stores. Certain websites do have it. So, yeah, and I don't know what it runs. It might be $10, might be $15. Like I said, about roughly $25. You can get it.
But you can get the horror toolkit on Amazon, can't you?
I believe so. I haven't checked Amazon personally.
I'll check it right now if you'd like.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Well, if you beat me to it.
And they're off. The race has begun.
They do not appear to have it.
I was right.
And we have a winner.
Yeah, they don't have it. That's kind of crappy. Yeah, it's kind of a hard book to come by, I guess. But given what we talked about today, I would say it'd be a great investment, even if you can get both, regardless of which you're not spending a whole lot of money to add, figure out how to manipulate the game. What's up?
The PDF's like $10 on Drivethru RPG.
Yes. I did check that yesterday, and it's also the same on Evil Hat Productions. So I will be posting both those links again today. So yeah. So that way, for any of our future viewers can, check it out for themselves if they're interested. I think we should give the horror genre a try. So, for most of those people, we do like Jason, Freddy, Chucky, Ghostface, Girl in the Well. I don't know what else to call her. Leatherface and Michael Myers is what we came up with.
The chick from Ring. There you go.
What's up? The chick from the Ring. Well, and the Witch King over here came up with some others. Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Yep.
Technically, the Ring girl was in the U.S. version named Samara Morgan.
Yeah, but when you give these people identities, I don't know, she just didn't.
Well, it's a ghost, so of course it has an identity.
Yeah, that's true. Samara Morgan. Okay, I'll change that. So, what do you guys think about the horror genre, and what do you guys think about implementing that into a Fate game? What's your thoughts?
I think it would work really well, honestly.
Probably better than most other systems, but definitely better than D20.
Definitely better than D20, but I don't think it. I think that Call of Cthulhu can work really well for horror.
Yes. Tobey?
They're fun. That's all I gotta say. I have a fun time.
And you know what? To top everything off for today, I do want to take a quick moment, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to emphasize myself here real quick, gentlemen. That's not what I wanted.
Are you sure?
All right, there we go. I got what I wanted now. All right, cool. So just to show you guys, and I'm doing this one-handedly, so I do apologize. Here's the book once again. And as you can see, it is the same material as every other Fate book I have. That looks a bit like A Man in the Shadows.
Oh, have you ever seen Death Note?
Yes, that actually does look like that.
He looks like I forget what his character is, but
Ryuk. Ryuk, you're so right.
It looks like Ryuk.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm doing this one-handed, and no, I don't have a mount yet. I'm working on getting a mount. I live in a small town, people, so. But as you can see,
You live in small town, people?
I live in a small town.
Well done.
You live in a small town, comma, people.
Oh, for God. You know what? It's been a long day, and I am doped up on medicine right now. And no, it's just like NyQuil or Dayquil. It's cold and flu medicine. And once again,
That's a cool picture.
Look at this. Same. You know, they use different type of photo paper, I think, too, because it's very glossy, more glossy than I've seen any other thing.
Oh, and you were talking about how the covers feel for those books.
Yes,
I wanted to tell you, it's called matte gloss.
Matte gloss. Oh, that is awesome.
MATTE, matte. Matte gloss.
Okay, matte gloss.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I could not figure it out.
I just figured I'd let you know because I didn't get a chance to.
Well, I mean, it doesn't feel like a normal leather, which is what I was showing in my camera a little bit. You get the same quality of that. It's like I've never seen books like this before, but it feels like it's high quality. Whatever it is, it feels like it's high quality. And as I showed people before, as I just showed you my camera, you get photo glossy paper more than I think I've seen any other TTRPG ever have. So you get your money's worth out of this system. I mean, you get your money's worth by investing into the system. You really do.
Definitely.
So, trying to get people interested in Fate Core and stuff like that. Gentlemen, I think that's everything we had to cover for today. We did cover some more pop culture. I mean, is there any more other pop culture we could think of for horror? I mean, I think we've already named off. You know what? Let's name off some. Apocalypse type. We have 28 Days Later,
Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead,
World War Z.
The book, not the movie.
The movie was not that good.
But it's still an apocalypse.
That is true. Terminator. That's a post-apocalyptic setting. Fallout. Let's see. I mean, if you wanted to go into role-playing settings, there's Rifts. There's the old NBC TV show that got canceled after 2 seasons called Revolution, which was technically post-apocalyptic.
The 100 is
Falling
too.
Skies.
Yeah.
I think that was one. War of the Falling, whatever it was.
Yeah, Falling Skies. That was a alien invasion one. If you go into older TV shows, well, actually, technically, Star Trek is post-apocalyptic. It's just people recovered.
Yeah, that still falls under science fiction, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, isn't post-apocalyptic technically a form of science fiction?
You know what? I gotta give that one to you.
I mean, it can include other genres, but I mean, generally.
Technically, so Star Trek would fall under post-apocalyptic in a sense, as well as a subgenre of sci-fi, or it would be sci-fi / post-apocalyptic. I mean, it would basically, that incorporates a lot of genres, to be honest, because we did recover. Star Trek is a good one.
Battlestar Galactica is post-apocalyptic.
Yes. And I ran out of room. So this is what I got for everybody so far. We're going to make it a scrolling banner for everyone to see. 28 days later, 28 weeks later, World War Z. The movie wasn't good, and book is better. Terminator, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Fallout, Rifts, Revolution, The 100, that's on Netflix, Falling Skies, and Star Trek. Yep, that's what we named off. You know what? That's not a bad list.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Of course, post-apocalyptic era in Star Trek is only about a couple decades long.
Right. Also, you cannot forget about Van Helsing.
That's true. The TV show, right?
Yes, Van Helsing with Kelly.
My dad and I started watching it. He's like, "Oh, this is really cool."
Yeah, I'm watching that with my kid, and he's liking it. And then I came up with the idea. I've got some votes on that. I came up with this idea that I ran by Tobey yesterday, and I've got a few votes, 100%. I said, basically, this is what I wrote on Twitter. As I said, I was like, I need, here, I just screen share it. Give me just a hot minute. Let me move it over to another screen. So this is what I wrote, and this is where we're at. We're only at 3 votes so far, but it's worth it. And let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. So this is the Twitter post I made. I said, I need advice. Would you play a game where your PC is a descendant of one of the major houses, House Van Helsing, House Harker, or House Dracula? And each house has their own special abilities that is passed down to each generation. And so far, out of all, I only got 3 votes with 3 hours left. And so far, out of all the votes, they all said yes.
Mm-hmm.
They would totally do that. That is a good idea. I'm going to have to oh, crap, monkeys. Go away.
No.
Go back down to 100% because that is just way too big for me. So yeah, that one of the things that I posted, and it looks like it's actually pretty good. So I mean, I may have to make a game now. I just don't know if I want to use Fate for it, or if I want to use like a leveling system, I don't think I want to use D20. But Genesis,
you could always use an OSR game like Night Shift.
I'm gonna have to get with you on that one because I've never heard of Night Shift.
Toby can help tell you.
It's interesting. It's fun.
Okay.
I haven't played a game, but I've looked at it with him.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Night Shift.
Night Shift: Veterans of the Supernatural Wars.
Oh, I got it right here. It was also a novel?
I don't think so. Let me link it to you in Discord.
Please.
Do you want the Drivethru RPG page or what?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Give me that one because if I get it, I'm going to probably get it through there or get it from the actual site.
Yeah, because you can only get the PDF from Drivethru RPG, but you can get the print copy from the Elflair Games store.
Yes, because if I get something like that, we are going to do a review on it.
Oh, and I want to. It's one of my favorite games.
If you already have it, I would say go right ahead and do that. You should do a review. On. I was talking to Tobey about this yesterday. You should definitely do a review on Vampire the Masquerade.
I was thinking about it
because you do know a lot about the 5th edition than I do, so that would be probably good for you to do. And
well, technically speaking, I know a lot about the 20th anniversary edition, not so much 5th edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you still have good extensive knowledge on some things.
That's true. I know a lot about the setting, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check this out. This actually seems very interesting. Very interesting. And it's only $18. It's a weird price for a PDF, $18.99.
Yeah. I mean,
just say $19.
It has everything you need, and if you were to get the supplement for it that came out called the Night Companion.
Okay.
It allows you to, which I don't get it unless you're fully set on it, but it allows you to play like a divine warrior, a mystical martial artist, a psychic gunslinger, wanted type, like the wanted.
Well, like I said, I haven't decided which system I'm going to use yet. I'm tossing around the idea. It's just I thought of it. I was sitting down watching Van Helsing, and of course that is a show about a girl who's a descendant from Van Helsing, and she has one of the ability. She can super heal, and she has the ability of reverting all the vampires back to humans. And I'm like, what would be cool is if, because I was also watching Castlevania, the anime on Netflix as well. And I was just like, Alucard turned into a white wolf and was just kick ass. And I'm like, it would just be cool if you just had descendants that had special abilities from like 3 major houses. And it's like, yeah, I kind of went to Game of Thrones with it a little bit because of the major houses. But it's like, I'm a big fan of Castlevania. I'm a big fan of Hellsing Ultimate, the anime. And then I'm a big fan of Van Helsing. So, I mean, I just love that whole storyline. I love it. Regardless of what people do with it, I just love it. So I'm into vampires. What can I say? I'm into all kinds of things. What can I say? So now I wouldn't use the horror toolkit or Fate for something like that, I don't think. I definitely wouldn't use the horror toolkit. The horror toolkit would be fit for better like a zombie game or Jason, where you're not supposed to beat the enemy. You're supposed to survive, beat the enemy, but survive it as well. And, of course, you're going to have those people who are not going to survive. Simple as that.
That'd be me.
What are you talking about? You were like the top survivor in one of my games, so don't even start. That'll be you. Yeah, bullshit. You weren't the first one out.
Top survivor because I was the only one who stuck around.
Whereas my character in a long ago game with Tabletop, I survived about 2, 3, 4 years after the campaign ended. Anyways.
Yeah, give me a second. I got something funny. Alrighty. There we go.
Lies.
Yes.
Don't let him mislead you.
I never mislead my following base. I'm up to 10 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 15. So for anyone who's viewing this, please, if you like what we post, please like and subscribe. And then leave a comment here and there if you'd like to see more. We do have more coming out. Speaking of which, on top of this, we have one more review we're doing, only because it's the last book I actually have for Fate Court. And man, too bad we ain't got a drum roll. I would do a drum roll on this one. And there you go. Keep doing it. All right, now stop. All right, this next one is going out to Tobey from a heartfelt way, because this is, and maybe the Witch King too, depending on how well he liked it. This is our next review. It is a tabletop setting. It is not a sandbox. It is a setting for the sandbox game, Venture City, which deals with, for those who don't know, superheroes. Yeah. We have a superhero game going on, which we got to get back to, gentlemen, at some point. But it's just,
I agree.
Yeah. We'll do a team up. That's it. That's just bottom line. We'll do a team up. I can't. For some reason, we get people involved and they just drop out randomly. It's like they drop out before the first session. So, alrighty. Well, that was everything I have for today. We actually did have a good stream. I'd like to think. I have to actually get going because I have been getting random calls. The last got 3 of them in the last 48 minutes, which is weird. They couldn't call me beforehand. So I may have to go 10 with that. But before we do, we are going to say our goodbyes. But before we do that, I am extending my special thanks out to Jace Fox at 45 Studios. Anyone who is viewing this video, please go check out his videos, like and subscribe. Please support him and what he does, because he is funny. He's a loving guy, and I've got to, I love the guy. He's been very nice to me, and he wants to do an interview with me, which yay. He's just interested in me, I guess. But Jace is freaking awesome. Please go support his channel.
What's not to like?
I really need to step up my Twitter game because I really don't have any people like Jace or anyone to help out with stuff like that when on my channel. But then again, I haven't made as many videos as you have, Tabletop.
Yes. Well, that's okay, because you know what you're going to do? You're going to give me your channel's link, and I'm going to post it for anyone.
I will do so.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it now?
Yeah, link it right now. Okay. I'm going to post it here I'm going to post it in the actual chat for anyone who, views the chat after the live stream. And then I'm going to post it in the video as well once the video publishes.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Now, Tobey.
Yes.
You need to run a D&D channel. How about that? And then you're gonna be. Then you're gonna be.
You need to become a D&D 5th edition YouTuber.
Yes.
But my knowledge isn't as extensive as your guys'.
You know D&D 5th edition way better than any of us, I'd say.
I hate to say yes. Although I do have to say I did run a Castlevania-like game earlier this week. It was awesome.
And I wasn't invited?
It was a private thing.
Yeah, it was with his family. I
Yeah.
won't say anymore.
You're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it was for
I
Easter.
just remember one of my favorite lines from Castlevania.
I know. Well, I used that is. Oh crap! I screwed that one up. Hang on. Right now, I fixed it. Witch King's channel, please go like and subscribe and see what he has. He does have something out for a game, and you can hear more about it on his channel. So, and right now Toby's not quite there yet to join us, but he is still one of my
Maybe
co-hosts.
one day.
Maybe one day we'll get him there. We'll get him there, everybody. We'll get him there. Like the famous line from what was his name? Firestarter? No, Diablo or Diablos. Diablo. He was from the Suicide Squad. Anyway, the famous words of Deadshot, played by Will Smith in that. It's like, I wasn't trying to make you upset. I was just trying to get you there. That's what we're gonna do with Toby. We're gonna get him there. We're gonna try and get him there.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Is slightly scared.
Nothing to be scared about, man. Once you get there, the first thing we got to do as one of my co-hosts is I've got to make you a fucking logo or something. I've got to say, I gotta get you something. You got to get a picture, bro. You gotta get
He needs a picture of a dog.
That's what I'm thinking. Either dog or a question mark.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple pictures in mind.
All right, get a picture and add it. And if you don't know how to add it, get with me. I'll help you out.
Nope, please.
So, yeah. So it's really
Also
easy.
get one on Discord because.
Well, you got a problem?
Yeah, you don't have a user picture, man. You need to fix that.
Says
We
who?
don't. User picture is the user picture is the fucking Discord logo. It's not even a real picture.
It works perfectly.
At least get one of a Xbox controller or something. Jeez.
Or D20, and then you can be like Tabletop.
The D&D logo. No, don't do that.
I'd
That's
rather
probably
not-
copyright.
I'd rather not copy.
You got to get. Well, I don't know if you'd be copying that because that's a TJ that looks like a fish hook now. Because I like to hook people into my streams like you two. That's why I put the TJ like that. I'm gonna be working on
hook me. I volunteered.
This is true. Well, you volunteered because I already hooked you.
No.
Ah.
You hooked us in because we're in your group.
Details, people. Details. All right, I think that is it for today. Why don't Toby? Why don't you say your goodbyes, and then Witch King, you say your goodbyes, and then I'm going to say my goodbye, and we'll call it a day. I really got to get to some business here.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
So I have just released a new video on my channel. It's basically just an attempt at a dramatic reading of the Hyborian Age essay by Robert E. Howard. I also have a video where I reviewed more or less Lords of Olympus by RPG Pundit.
Fun game.
It is a great game. I plan to do a review of another game. No details on that yet because I haven't figured it out what I'm going to review. Potentially Vampire. I don't know. Maybe. And you can see my YouTube channel there, and you can follow me on my blog if you want. Anyways, back to you, Toby.
Thanks everyone for streaming in, and
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Remember to not subscribe.
He's gonna get there, everybody. And this is Tabletop Junkie. I would like to make a couple announcements that our next review tomorrow is, like I said, Venture City, and I'm announcing the V plus T3 actual play show, where we are going to be getting some players together, and hopefully my two current comrades will be able to join as well, where we're going to be doing an actual play. The actual play is going to be a Fate core game system, and I think we're going to do horror, like I said, horror toolkit, and it's going to be we're definitely going to incorporate a lot of the elements there, and it's going to be them taking on legendary monsters from legendary slasher flicks. So this is Tabletop Junkie. Once again, telling you guys to enjoy your week and work hard, play hard, game hard, and game on with all your friends, because that is what the world is about right now. Because there ain't nothing else going on where I'm at. So this is what I got best to do. So this is Tabletop Junkie giving you guys his famous tabletop salute. Have a great and wonderful day, and you too have a great and wonderful day as well.
You as well, my friend.
Certainly will.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.